what an energetic start to this
God,
episode.
God.
Are we? The Middle Easy Fight Fist podcast.
Welcome to the Middle Easy Fight Fist podcast.
The
It
most
is,
unorganized start to a podcast we've had so far.
Horny.
Yeah,
And
you
I
guys,
blame it mostly. Diego comes in with "I'm so horny" right off the gate.
You guys here weren't here for the pregame, but Austin's having a little technical difficulties over.
No
in the corner.
difficulties. He was crushing it. He's just a little.
I would like to announce that
He's a little snippy.
Austin's no longer our full-time sound guy. He's just our babysitter for an hour a week
Yeah.
while we record in his dorm room.
Austin just plays dad for an
Yeah.
hour.
Austin was so mean that he stopped editing the podcast for free. He was also doing a shit job of it. It was kind of like a firing / he wanted no part of it anyway. So it was a mutual.
He wanted stock in the company.
Classic. You can't fire me. I quit situation.
Because I wanted to open with this because all 80 of our listeners are really they were so into
They're
the
like,
Austin
where
saga.
is Austin? But we got listeners in New Zealand
Yeah,
apparently.
we have a lot of listeners in Auckland, New Zealand,
And
Thank you so
Kenya.
much.
and Kenya. I'm not sure where in Kenya, but just anywhere in there is pretty fascinating.
I mean,
Yeah.
I wouldn't know if you told me a city. I'd be
No.
like, yeah, sure.
I'm gonna guess it's the one city with electricity.
probably and
That
there-
one.
We're
There
definitely
goes
big
those
in
listeners.
Kenya's
Yeah.
city capital.
Yeah, what you
Which-
don't know is that there's a big Fight Fist billboard in Kenya.
Oh, cool.
We got sponsored.
That's where we could afford one. We're like, what's the
Middle
cheapest
Easy's got a
place?
huge
It
following in
cost me a
Kenya.
nickel. Advertising.
There's just a
That'd be
serious.
smart. We should do that. We should look into that.
When we don't have UFC fighters on the podcast, it really goes off the rails.
Well, that's
Yeah.
kind of. I think that's kind of the point of the.
Yeah.
You know, it's
Yeah,
fun to
there's
have
off
high
the rails
because-
episodes and then on the rails episodes.
Because we went like pretty fighter heavy for a few weeks.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
Well, we had Ally Quinta on last week. We can't be like, hey, Al, how do you feel about those fucking
Yeah.
losers in Kenya?
How about those fucking Kenyans?
Hey, Al, you eat ass or what, my dude?
I changed my Twitter banner. Did you see the new picture?
I haven't seen it. No.
What is the new
Picture
picture?
of me at a show, but the sign in back of me says "Eat ass, pray love."
Oh, that's tight.
Yeah, I figured that's a perfect Twitter banner.
I like that.
I used to have the picture of me on stage at the Cellar, but I had to part ways with that picture.
You know, you change
Dude,
it.
I
up.
did
had to change it
I
up.
did a show last weekend at the Diversity Fraternity in Syracuse, which is just like a straight up like frat house, but like they make jokes about them being diverse because like that's the whole
What
point
is
of
their
the frat.
diversity?
Guys like
They-
me.
Yeah, all guys like Diego, all white Hispanic guys.
Yeah.
No, it's it's just a bunch of different dudes, and then
It's called
but
Alpha CK.
They make like jokes about it, and in the back, there's like a picture of me on stage, and in the back, in like yellow writing at the back of the stage, it just says race battle" with 2 exclamation points.
What?
And in the picture, dude, I look like I'm like leading like some alt-right march because I'm like.
Imagine
real
if that
fast.
was me. People would be so scared of what was on the other side of the picture. Who is
Yeah.
tied up?
Yeah, that would be at least. I
What-
like.
What is that referred to? Is there like a?
No, I don't know what it even is. I think it's just like a joke. Maybe they did some little like one-off funny thing,
All right.
but like.
I
That's
did
the thing. The
there's
thing
a
I
new
love about
show.
college is that I definitely went and had a good time.
Yeah,
Have
do
you
you
ever
feel
performed
weird
at a
coming
college?
into this college?
No.
Was this wasn't set up through the university though, right?
No.
Yeah. See, the only shows I've done have been set up through the university, and I'm so like to be
Oh.
honest, I got fired like right away.
I can imagine. Yeah, I'd rather
Yeah.
this way where like just kids.
Yeah, I
hire
shotgunned
me.
a
Dude.
beer on stage and was fired the next day.
That
Really?
makes sense.
But see, this is where
That
I-
would've been
I-
encouraged
I
at this
debated
gig.
with my college agent at the time because I was like, so it's winning over a college crowd right now is really tough as a comic, and they threw a beer at me 8 minutes into my 60-minute set.
like Stone Cold, like they like
Yeah, like
not. They're
just-
not trying to hurt you.
So I
They're
was like,
trying
you want a
to
beer?
okay.
Just like toss it up.
Nice.
And I snagged it, because I had a little bit of athlete left in my right hand only, and I caught the beer, and then I was like, if I don't shotgun this, the crowd's gonna.
They're gonna.
leave
You're
me.
lose them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think what really put the icing on the cake was that I got caught sleeping with one of the students.
Oh man.
But
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
I like how you say caught. Like if you guys were having sex outside, which I don't know. Maybe
What a
you were,
twist
but
it
know
would
how
be
we
is
got
if the college was NYU and he fucked Austin.
He was the mascot of the college.
I made Austin wear those gay little yellow headphones. that it says on
Austin's
it,
like-
too.
See, if that was me, I would have asked. If
That's
anybody
why
had a
Austin.
LaCroix.
That's why Austin helped us with the podcast to pay
I
Dan
got caught
back
in the
for
most
ruining his
millennial
college
way.
career.
This is off the rails.
Let's control the one
I got
conversation.
caught.
Yeah.
This. Remember when they had that mannequin challenge
Mm-hmm.
where it was just a video of people standing
Yeah.
still? So I was holding this girl up doing a keg stand, and then my agent saw that video.
The mannequin.
That's how I
challenge.
got caught.
That sucks. This was at a frat.
This was in
which
West
great.
Virginia, so I figured anything was fair game as
Yeah.
long as it wasn't murder.
How did they like? Do they know you personally?
So there's this kid Bassam
What's up, Bassam?
that is a comic here in New York. He's very funny.
The Psalm?
And Bassam Shawl. And
Bassam.
yeah, he used to go to Syracuse, and he was in this fraternity. So we set up this show. It was me, him, Usama Siddiqui.
Oh, I love Usama.
Yeah,
Wow,
Zayn
diverse.
Sharif and Misha Han. It was a
Oh, I
good-
love Misha. Okay.
Yeah, it was a great.
I know two people.
Dude, it was a real fun crew, and we did a show there. Pay was good. They gave us like unlimited free booze, and then they had this giant frat party after in the same room we did the the show. But they had it felt like a concert in there because it was like a giant dance. There was like 300 people up
That's
there.
so great.
It was,
Wow.
it was so
That sounds
much
fun as hell.
It was so.
How much
super
time did
fun.
you do?
They gave us each like 15.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it was
Oh, that's
great,
perfect.
man. They were sick, super fun crowd, very
man,
loose,
my man.
real, yeah.
I love that.
It was a good time, man. It was like it was weird seeing like 18-year-old because they were the kids.
They're so hot.
Yeah, these fucking hot ass 18-year-olds, dude. It's just little,
I got it.
dude. They're all like doing like their weird grinding dances on the dance floor.
While
And
you're doing
it's like watching,
I thought while you're doing your jokes.
dude. It
yeah,
was like
they're grinding while they're doing jokes.
it was like watching some Animal Planet shit where it's like you're finding out
Man,
like when
tell me more about that tarot
when
card
penguins
bit.
first start to like mate.
Uh-huh.
And you're just like the natural process.
Yeah.
It's so weird because none of
What-
these kids know themselves yet. They don't, they're so inexperienced.
You really read into this party,
dude.
I feel like you were just in the corner, like,
Did
Yeah.
any of
does
your
that man know himself yet?
did anything from your set get like more or less of a response out of like than normal? That you like was kind of weird to you at all?
I do a bit about like anything about drugs. They went ape shit for.
God, they'd hate me.
They were like, oh, you know what? No,
I think
do
drugs
this
are
bit.
bad.
I do a bit about like how white people act at music festivals.
Okay.
And they loved that. They were cool. They couldn't have been any less fucking PC, quote unquote. Like
It's a
I
good thing
went
all
up,
of them are
I
gonna listen
opened
to
making
this.
fun of like the diversity in the fraternity.
Of course, you
And-
have to. Perfect.
Yeah,
Perfect.
there was like a token white guy, and I was like shouting him out, and it was like they were cool with whatever. So every college show I've done, they haven't been like annoyingly PC
Yeah.
as
You know what the key to a good college show is? Not being the only comic there, because then all the pressure's on you. I used to bring someone to like sacrifice as an opener, and I'd be like, just go figure it out for me. And then,
I mean, yeah, that's. I
yeah.
can't remember who I heard the story of like someone like they got a break to open for someone big and they bombed, and then after the show they apologized to the headliner, and the headliner's like, no, that's what you're here for.
Yeah.
I need you to do that.
Yeah,
you're
you're here to
fine.
make me look
He's like,
good.
oh, okay.
I want an opener to apologize to me if they kill too hard. I'd be like, hey, what are you doing, man?
Yeah.
I brought you because I didn't want to do all my work.
that's so
Just
You
funny.
ease
came
them
out like
up.
a main course, buddy. I
Right.
needed some fried zucchini sticks,
Mm-hmm.
not a filet mignon.
Very underrated.
Yeah, it's the only vegetable I eat because it's fried.
I mean, you can fry all sorts of vegetables. I don't know if you just.
You know what else you can fry? Oreos.
In Dan's mind, that's the
true.
only vegetable that gets fried. It's
Yeah.
like,
Wait a minute,
can't
you
do
can-
it besides that.
You can
Is
fry
cheese a vegetable?
potatoes.
Because they fry that, man.
Oh.
I remember one of my first. Never mind, I'm not getting into the story. It's just about me not knowing what vegetables were. It wasn't that entertaining. Punchline's pretty simple. I
What's,
didn't know what vegetables were.
What's been going on with you with Diego with teaching MMA and all that stuff? How's it going?
Teaching's been going good.
Yeah,
I'm
guys,
at the
Fight Fist
gym a lot.
podcast.
Uh,
MMA.
you know it. I have a client who's also a very good friend who's a pro wrestler.
Oh.
No
and-
shit.
Yeah, and his name is Zack Sabre Jr. He's like the biggest non-WWE wrestler, but he also fought in the WWE for a minute.
Whoa.
But he's like known as like a technical like mat wrestler, and he came to
So
me.
he's actually a good wrestler.
Yeah, he's a really good wrestler.
Yeah.
But he came to me to like incorporate more like real submissions, and we've been working for like a year and a half together. And this past week,
Did you guys finally
He-
penetrate?
we finally got inside of each other. He won New Japan Cup with a submission that we invented together.
Oh, you invented it?
Yeah, it's from seated back now.
That's so sick.
Yeah, it was really. He woke me up at 5 a.m. texting me like we did it. Here's a gif of the
What's
submission.
the submission?
It's so if I have your back and you
Oh, yeah.
bridge, I how do I explain it? I use a butterfly hook to kick you over, and then I have a calf slicer. And the calf slicer becomes a muffler,
Nice.
which is when someone's leg goes behind your head and you squeeze it, which is a very pro wrestling move. But the most of that beginning part, I'll show you the video, is very jujitsu.
Wait,
Yeah.
You choked them out with their own leg?
No, their leg is behind your head, and you break
Oh,
their
this was
leg.
like a Zohan chokeout.
Yeah, kind of.
Wow.
So it was weirdly like
That's sick.
I'm weirdly proud of.
I hope
Yeah,
this
of
becomes
course.
big, and then like we're watching like UFC 280 in
Yeah.
the future, and they're like, "That's the Diego Lopez choke."
Yeah, really. The Lopez
that would
leg
really
lock.
help our numbers.
Yeah, well, that's the thing is like he can't, we're talking, and the reason we collaborate so well is that like he wants real stuff, and my style is very wild and very like risky, so it doesn't work that well for MMA specifically. But if we're like the person's more open
So
to
you're like an
move
alt
happening,
MMA teacher.
kind of, yeah, it's very weird. It's it's really fun, and like a lot of people are messaging me because they know that he's my student, and like
That's so cool.
yeah, it's so
So your
rad.
style of jujitsu is wild and risky.
Yeah, my when I'm like not fighting, when I'm just doing jiu-jitsu is very wild. I'm very unorthodox. I take enormous risks because that's fun to me. That's who I
Yeah.
am. That's like what I like about jiu-jitsu is like you can roll with someone who doesn't speak English
Yeah.
and get a good idea of what kind of person they are just by how they play their jiu-jitsu.
That's so funny.
It's very cool. And that's who I am as a person. I'm stupid and wild.
I've
Wow,
I've
this is
heard
such
a
an
lot.
honest podcast.
I've heard more intellectuals. Maybe you can confirm or deny this. More like intellectual, a higher percentage of like intellectual people do jujitsu than any other, than most other types of martial arts because it's such a like a chess master.
Yeah, it's so nerdy. It's so cerebral.
Everybody says that. I don't understand. I've never rolled though, so I don't
You gotta roll.
understand.
Come roll with me. I'll come. We'll all do the. I'll come to my gym. We'll all do a class.
All right.
I'll teach you guys some stuff. Yeah. I
I'll
motioned to
tap Austin for me. I'll watch.
Okay.
Why? What's nerdy about it?
Because it's you have to. You're telling a story basically, and you have to lie about the story to get them to give you the submission. Submissions are traps; they're not
Yeah.
bullets. I don't throw a submission; I let a submission happen. I nurture your movements to get me there. So I have to be good at lying with my body. And it's like, okay, if I grab this ankle, that means if this person has a year experience, they're more likely going to do this. If they have 4 years experience, they're probably going to do this. So I have to know what your reaction is going to be, so I can take advantage of that movement.
Is there a certain personality you think a lot of high-level jiu-jitsu artists share?
I think it's a stubbornness that usually they have where they're like they want to figure things out and they
Yeah.
like the process of figuring things out. Most people that are like they let their frustration stop them from being vulnerable and trying things, they usually don't do very well.
Yeah.
It's usually someone who's like has like little brother syndrome where you're like, no, I'll get it, I'll figure it out. And
Yeah.
you kind of work. But yeah, like some of my favorite students to teach are like not athletic, not like crazy fit. They're just like they're little smart people, little
You speak
wiry
in my
smart
language. You had me at unathletic.
people. Dude,
That's so
that's a
wild.
cool thing is that like there is no wrong body type for jiu-jitsu. It's just whether or not you could adapt your game
Let me prove
to
to
it.
you.
Hey, come for this. You might throw up, but that doesn't mean it's wrong.
I threw up when I did
that's
Muay
great.
Thai.
Yeah, dude, Muay
Once.
Thai is so cardio intensive. But that's what annoys me about jiu-jitsu.
You know when they threw up when he used to make us do full rounds of throwing knees.
Oh
But
yeah.
you know, like when you hold the chain and you
Mhm.
just throw constant knees, like 5 minutes of that,
Pa, pa,
I
pa.
was done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what annoys me about when people talk about jiu-jitsu and they're like, it's such a good workout. I'm like, not if you're doing it right. If you're doing it right, you should be
Conserving
lazy.
energy.
You should,
Really?
it's all about efficiency. I roll people that are like pretty good, like 5 years in, and my goal is not to raise my heart rate over a certain amount and not to sweat
That's so
and
interesting.
still dominate them. It's like that's kind of the goal.
That's so interesting. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
We gotta do a class.
I
It'll
have
be so
the
much
same
fun.
mentality when I do a podcast. Just don't sweat.
There you
them.
go. Oh, I'm so wet right now.
Do you think a lot of the jiu-jitsu guys in the UFC, like a lot of them seem a bit mild-mannered? Like,
No.
you don't think so?
I mean, if we're talking people that came from a big jiu-jitsu background, let's say, okay, so who's the most known
I
jiu-jitsu
feel like
players?
some of the Brazilians in the UFC are some of the most eccentric people.
yeah, but they're not all necessarily jiu-jitsu specialists.
So like Maya sticks out to me. Dame Maya. Ortega, pretty
Those are the
soft-spoken
two I
kid.
was
To be
thinking
honest,
of.
those are both very.
Yeah.
They don't help my point.
They were
Right.
literally the first two I thought of.
But I think-
they're the two most prominent jiu-jitsu guys where you're like, when you think of jiu-jitsu specialists, you
Yeah,
think of those two
I think it's
specifically.
because in jiu-jitsu you learned very early that it's quicksand,
Yeah.
and the more effort you make, the quicker you die.
Yeah.
So you learn to just maybe chilling out will help me, and you learn to just kind of calm everything down.
I think a lot of fighters like. To be honest, there's not many like crazy fighters right now.
No, a lot of the guys that are good at that are boxers or knockout specialists tend to be a little
You know what I
louder,
think it is? I
chattier
think-
guys. Give it like McGregor obviously, but also like
Yeah.
Woodley, Jeremy Stevens.
Well, I think the UFC is in a new echelon of popularity where they don't need the words to sell tickets anymore. I think tickets are being sold because people are actually a fan of the sport now, so they don't need to really amp that
Yeah.
up as much.
More so than ever.
Because if
They're
you look at
still-
a lot of the animosity that's in the UFC right now, it's the manufactured videos that the UFC puts out.
Right.
yeah,
It's their little leading. They like put together clips that make it look like they're mad at each other,
Right.
and they're really not.
And it's just like,
I was surprised about how much the guys we've had on shit talk to other fighters though.
Yeah, I mean, who
Jimmy, Aljamain, and Al all talk shit
but
about
those
other
three
fighters.
are like if their whole it's
Yeah,
not
they
that
all-
strange from who they are like
No,
on
you're
social
right. They
media.
all
It's
have a
kind of who
certain
they
I
are.
was
bravado.
surprised
Yeah, they all have a
that
certain bravado
Aljamain
to them.
shit on Jimmy.
Aljamain shit on Jimmy. Aljamain also
And
Aljamain had, at least I don't want to say shit on him because this might get him in trouble, but expressed hard disapproval for John Jones, who's the guy that got him into MMA,
Right.
which is crazy
Hey,
interesting.
Yeah. So the day after we did the Aljamain episode, I was on a different podcast with Jimmy, and I was like, Jimmy, man, Aljamain was shit talking to you yesterday. He's like, that little motherfucker.
What weight class is Aljamain?
He's
45?
he's a bantam as well.
35.
They're both 30.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Because he lost to Marlon, who's
Right.
fighting Jimmy.
When are they fighting? I forget.
They're in Utica in June.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
headlining.
yo, my
Beautiful
cousin,
Utica.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, we were telling him that because he had no idea. We're like, Utica's
we
beautiful.
were like,
He gets, eat clean, bro. The
Yeah.
people who, So my cousin got a job for them
Oh, cool.
delivering, and he messaged me yesterday. He's like, "Hey, is this Jimmy's number?" I was like, "What are you talking about, man?" He's like, "Oh, I'm delivering food to him later." So instead of just texting him saying his delivery's on the way, my cousin texts Jimmy, "Is this future UFC bantamweight champion Jimmy Rivera?"
God. That's gross.
And then when he showed up, he's like, "I'm Dan's cousin." Jimmy was like, "Oh,
Oh, okay. He's like about to get him fired.
yeah." I was like, "Why are you doing this to me, Nick? Come
Yeah.
on."
That's funny. That's kind of.
Yeah.
Then he invited him over to our house for tacos during a fight night. So now I kind of make tacos.
Where do you live again?
The Jersey Shore.
The Jersey Shore.
Did
Okay.
you see Ludwig talk shit, like basically say that he doesn't think Garbrandt deserves the rematch because they think they're gonna do that rematch, but Ludwig was like freaking out because he doesn't think that Garbrandt deserves a rematch with Dillashaw. Yeah, but I don't
I don't think he does either.
I think
he really wanted Dillashaw to fight Demetrius.
Yeah,
which-
I would. Yeah. So
See,
does everyone.
As did we all.
Really, I
Really?
would way rather see a Garbrandt rematch.
Huh.
I mean, I get because that's the more exciting fight to me because they both have knockout power and there's so much animosity between them.
Sure.
And the fact that Garbrandt was this close to stopping Dillashaw at the
Agreed.
end of the first and then proceeded to get knocked out in the second.
It was a really good fight. I'm
amazing.
gonna watch the second. I'm gonna watch it again.
Yeah.
I just don't like the idea of like when someone says they don't deserve a rematch because rematches they happen for so many different reasons. It's hard to say someone doesn't deserve it. They usually happen because they're gonna sell tickets.
Also, TJ was out on his feet at the end of the first,
yeah.
dude.
Also,
There
why
was
is a
literally
microwave on a
people-
chair?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh, that's sick as hell.
There's literally people at the UFC whose job it is to make sure to know what fight should happen.
Yeah. I don't know.
And-
I'll watch it.
Yeah.
I just love watching DJ fight, and
Yeah,
I'm
no, I
just
get it.
it's getting boring to a degree. Him like cleaning that fucking division out.
No, I
don't know.
get
He
it.
made it interesting with that submission last
Sure,
time.
I
The
mean,
best-
he's
one of the best.
But that's the
of all
thing.
time.
He's forcibly adding drama
You
to it
should
by
teach him the
doing.
Diego.
Who do you
submission.
think
I'll
would
show
win?
him the Diego.
Who do you think would win if DJ and TJ fought?
I think DJ's the best fighter in the world.
The
I
Do you
mean,
think he
fans
would
would
beat
win.
Dillashaw?
The
I don't
fans
know.
would
I just
win.
This is
you have a
pandering.
lanyard that says UFC
Yeah,
promo.
I'm just gonna
Ask-
turn into the pandering host.
That's fun.
Man, Dana White, what a hard worker.
What a fair and hardworking man.
Yeah, such a fair man. Yeah, that was fun to see Al still openly not talk well about Dana.
Oh man, he went in. That was great.
People get surprised about fighters when they talk shit about Dana. I was like, when have you not heard someone talk shit about their boss?
Yeah.
Right,
Are
exactly.
you purposely playing
Oh, my
footsie?
bad. I thought that was
This.
this.
Do you guys want to do the predictions?
Yeah, let's do it.
Do you have your? I have mine out now.
Yeah.
Okay.
UFC
main
223
card?
predictions.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
only
we're
did
doing the main card because in the past when Dan and I have done the prelims, we just guess based on who has the cooler
Yeah,
name.
me and
So
Luke
we're
used to
just
do- me and Luke used to do them, and then we wouldn't even keep
record
track
them
of
or
who-
remember.
Right. No one knows unless we listen
Yeah.
back.
Before I knew anything, I used to judge by who I would think the winner would be the person with the worst tattoos, and they usually got me a
Fair.
good amount
That's
of
pretty
wins. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
I usually go by if the fighter has a brand. I always think the guys with brands are a bit tough, but then
You said-
OSP has one, and he's not.
You must
the
have had
best.
Darren Elkins undefeated with that tattoo rule.
that thing sucks. All right. So first
Oh, if
of the
we're
main
talking about
card.
Tattoos. How about Ben Affleck's new tattoo?
What is
Oh man, that
Have you
is
seen that?
weird.
No.
It's
I had to
very
bring it
weird.
up. It's Phoenix rising from the ashes, but it's his entire back, and it's like all colorful and shit. It is one of the ugliest things I've seen in my
it?
life.
What?
I'd like to see it. I'd like to know who did it. I don't think it's a weird picture to judge it completely.
What they said is because he's like really depressed when he doesn't leave his house.
Of course.
Is that he just had someone bring like a whole tattoo rig to his house and
Yeah,
says
which
the
is what
great
celebrities usually
sadness
do.
of
They-
Ben
they
Affleck.
usually-
which is even worse because that means that was like someone's day was to do. This
Oh my
bullshit.
god, this is terrible, dude.
Yeah,
Um,
it looks like a child drew it.
It looks like the top of a Beyblade.
I'd love to see a good picture of it.
It looks
I'd
like he
love to see a
passed
good
out in Mexico and someone really fucked with his bag.
Look at this.
Our number
The
one
top
fan.
of a
Yeah.
Beyblade. That's pretty funny.
It's so bad.
First fight of 223.
Oh yeah.
Al
Off that-
Iaquinta
Yeah, well,
versus.
the point of that was that Ben Affleck is losing all of this. So he's the big loser for the week.
yeah, multi-millionaire Ben Affleck, the real
Yeah.
loser here tonight.
That dumb fuck.
We got Al Iaquinta versus Paul Fielder.
I'm going
Uh,
hard raging Al.
Oh, you're going Al? How?
I'm going Al by decision.
What did you say there?
Like how? What? You know what?
Take it
Words
hard.
are hard when you're stupid.
When you didn't go to college.
Yeah, when you're not educated.
There's the episode title. Words are hard. That's why I had a pen in my hand just to write down the episode
Perfect.
title.
I have Fielder by split decision,
Felder.
but I'm is it Felder?
Yeah.
Oh,
Paul
It is.
Felder.
Paul Felder.
Yeah,
But I
he's
actually
the new
think
announcer.
no, he's great. But I actually think he's probably going to finish him. But I'm
Really?
betting on split decision.
I'll finish you
Mm-hmm.
with my hands. I have Al
Tell you, yeah,
beating.
masturbating joke. Oh, she got. Oh, you got her with that one.
I have Al. I had to have Al since we were in his home, in his living room last week.
Yeah,
I wasn't
after
there.
he really treated
you
us
could-
well.
Yeah, you're the one. You could take it.
Yeah, you didn't get the hosting.
I have Al beating Felder in the second round with a knockout. 'cause
Okay.
I think he has more power than Paul. But also, I think if it goes to a decision, Al loses because the UFC needs Paul to win since they don't want their new announcer being a loser.
Sure, but you know.
But also on the flip side, Paul's not even ranked, and Al is the number 11 lightweight. So
Okay,
Okay.
that's good. Pretty good.
So I got
it's gonna be a good fun
two
one.
Al's and one Felder.
Okay, 2 Al's, 1 Felder. Up next, we got.
if he wins, you now have to buy a house from Al Iaquinta.
You do from Iaquinta Real
We're
Estate.
sponsored by Al.
I could buy.
Iaquinta.
That'd be
No,
very cool if we got sponsored.
Yeah.
Sponsored by Iaquinta Real Estate.
Michael Chiesa versus Anthony Pettis.
Chiesa by submission.
Ooh, I got Chiesa by TKO, second round.
I have
like
Pettis
that.
by split decision.
All right.
Wow.
I mean, those are all.
I was looking at the stats, and it looks like between takedowns and striking that Pettis puts out more than
Mhm.
he's used to in the past. I don't know. I think it'll be a fun fight. I don't think enough people give Pettis credit.
I mean, he's just had a hard go of it in last.
Yeah.
what,
Yeah, this
5
card I
fights?
love because it's a very lightweight oriented card.
Yes, big fan of that. Okay, so we got 2 Chiesas, 1 Pettis.
Yeah.
Split
Up
decision.
next,
Calvin, baby.
Calvin Qatar versus Moicano.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is.
Wow.
I looked it
I
up.
don't know how to pronounce Renato.
Okay, I'm just betting off what I looked at. I looked at the records.
Yeah.
I got Moicano by unanimous decision.
So do I.
Really,
Ooh, wow.
Catter's coming off that. He knocked out future guest, hopefully Shane.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
I got unanimous decision. Catter.
Oh.
Okay,
Qatar.
okay.
It's
Damn.
also I shouldn't have so much confidence in a man whose name I'm not confident in pronouncing.
Very true.
Yeah.
But hey, get simpler names, people.
Now comes to my favorite fighter in the UFC,
Mm-hmm.
whose shirt I'm wearing right
Thug
now.
Rose.
Thug Rose Namajunas,
Mm-hmm.
a.k.a. the ball and chain of Pat Barry.
My favorite MMA relationship.
The
if
best
I'm being
MMA
honest.
relationship. Yeah. I'm gonna in this one. It's for me. I have to go. Rose beats Joanna again with a 4th round TKO.
Okay.
I think she's gonna get her down and ground and pound for the win.
I have Rose by TKO as well, but I didn't pick the round yet.
Oh.
Yeah.
But
I actually have Joanna by split decision. I think she's gonna have a better weight cut this time. Hopefully she learns from it. I'm rooting for Rose. I love Rose. I love both of them.
Yeah.
They're both
There's
beautiful women.
two of the best fighters to watch in the UFC. Joanna's so aggressive, and she's like so willing to like stand in the pocket and bang.
I'd
it
argue
was such
that
a
outside
badass upset by Rose last time that I
I'd
have to
argue that
rate her.
outside of Ronda, Joanna was the most important female fighter for the UFC.
Yeah.
Because she was the only one who remained a champion for a long period of time.
Yeah.
And she's just gorgeous.
Yeah.
And everyone thinks she looks like an alien. I give her it.
Really?
It's good. Yeah.
Oh, they're both.
My
very
family makes
physically-
fun of me because I think she's incredibly attractive.
I think every person on this card is very physically attractive, and we would
Yeah.
we'd
Don't
be
even
all be
wait.
honored to give him a kiss on the hand.
Yeah, I would totally blow Khabib as long as he's wearing the hat. He
Chiesa,
has to wear the hat.
You keep
listen,
looking at the check like you got the hat on, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't
Michael-
take it off. When you take it off, I start using teeth. Khabib.
Michael Chiesa, I hope you do the podcast. He's a possible podcast guest in the
Oh.
future.
Oh, I
but
forgot to check
I
with his
think you're
manager.
ugly as fuck, dude. I don't
And
think
he's-
you're good looking.
Definitely gonna listen to this.
Michael, if
And-
you're listening, I will also blow you if you wear Khabib's hat. But it has to be authentic, worn by Khabib. It cannot be a knockoff.
no knockoff.
No.
And main event.
Main
Tony
event,
Ferguson versus.
so you had
The
Joanna.
big one.
I have Joanna. Yeah, by split decision.
Luke always does that once an episode. He screams. It throws off the audio.
Throws off the whole audio.
Once an episode, he lets in a big. "Ah!"
Ah!
and then all I see is just the red jump up on the audio.
That's what I do it for.
The fans,
I
they're
like
here
to.
for
I
it.
like to take risks.
I'll get you guys to go first on this one because I assume I'm different than both of you on this.
I get Khabib by third round TKO.
I have Khabib by TKO, but I didn't pick the round.
Yeah,
Well, pick
I
one
have,
now. It's 1 out of 5. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one. Pick one.
Third round. I'm
Okay.
gonna go third.
I thought you were
round
gonna say
as well.
sixth round. I'm like, you
No.
motherfucker.
Yeah. I'm gonna say they both shake hands at the end. That's
Oh.
my prediction. No, I have.
They're both gonna have some fun. How about that?
I don't know why. I have a strong feeling. Tony Ferguson knocks out Khabib by the third round.
Wow. So
I-
we are
I-
third
Wow.
round.
Yeah, I haven't seen enough of Khabib's chin to be confident in it.
Okay,
Yeah.
that's fair.
I will say I was extremely confident in Khabib beating Tony until I couldn't be more confident until I saw videos of both of their training camps. Tony looks phenomenal. His the conditioning he's doing, the amount of core exercise he's doing, and how elaborate they look and how unorthodox they are. Like he looks like he's in great shape and like he's taking it really seriously. Whereas Khabib's kind of just doing more straightforward bench press and rolling and stuff like that. And Khabib's extremely talented, but Tony looks like he's having a really serious camp.
Yeah, I mean they're both great fighters.
I
and-
think it's going to be a classic Stipe versus Ngannou. It's
Oh.
just going to be the champ overcomes. I have no words for what I'm saying
I
right now.
think-
I lost the words.
I think Khabib's proved
I
himself
was
so
gonna
much
try
more.
to say something so
I
prolific.
think Dan just had an aneurysm.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. One of many. Yeah, so I'm going to say Tony beats Khabib. I got to be honest. I was going to place bets today.
By knockout too.
How about
Yeah,
we?
it's a
What?
knockout.
What's our? Who wins gets what? We should do that one of those.
A tattoo. A Middle Easy tattoo. Loser.
I'm not doing that.
Well, the guy with all the tattoos says no.
I already have so many joke tattoos. I can't keep doing it.
Oh, wow. You're calling our overlords a joke?
Why don't we just like a $5 pot?
I'm down.
All right,
It's
we
not
just put
getting
$5 in,
Yeah.
and
Listen.
yeah, losers
I
to
don't want
fight
to be
me.
an asshole, but I pay for everything about this podcast.
Very fair point.
If you guys lose, you have to start paying for the podcast.
All right.
I
That's fair.
like instead of loser fights Diego, winner fights Austin.
Ooh, that's good.
Right.
He's got the reach. He's got the
I'm far and away the easiest fight of the three of us.
I don't think so, buddy.
Either way, it's gonna be a great card. I'm looking forward to it. We should try to
Yeah,
watch
dude,
it.
it's gonna be phenomenal.
We should try to
You
watch
guys
it
gonna
together.
I'm
come to
so
Jersey?
Why
excited
not?
for
You
this.
can come over here. I'm not going
No,
to
I'm
Jersey.
having a
I'm
party
in a
in
car.
Jersey for the fight.
Where do you usually watch it?
Jimmy Rivera's
Oh.
coming, man.
At your place?
Just kidding.
Yeah.
I'm not. I don't know why I said that. He's not coming.
He's not coming.
No. My cousin invited him. I'm gonna assume he said no because my cousin was a crazy person.
Sure.
You usually
just
watch it
texted.
at your place?
I mean, usually I watch like the highlights the next day. I don't really.
Oh,
Yeah.
My life is,
boo.
you know,
You
like
got a
I,
real fister.
oh yeah. Well, I mean, I do it every day. I'm
Those
not
are
watching
our
more
fans'
of it.
names are the fisters. 'Cause this is the
Yeah, she
Fight
gave a
Fist
very
podcast.
Also,
confused
the people
look.
listening have no idea who you're talking to.
Yeah, I'm talking to my friend Catherine, who's sitting on the couch. In
Yeah,
Austin's
Catherine
dorm.
was very confused by.
She's our number one
Dan
fan.
Just calling random people
Yeah,
fisters.
we're actually doing live shows now. She's the first one to come to a live show. Yeah, Austin really made the place look pretty for us today.
Yeah.
He has a microwave on a goddamn seat.
Looks like you guys walked in here into this dorm room like, this place doesn't look college enough.
Yeah.
Let's put the microwave
this?
on
What's-
the
what's
chair.
Yeah.
It looks like the thing that Bruce Willis pushes into the elevator, blow up Nakatomi
We're
Plaza.
talking so much about that that you think this would be a visual podcast.
Sure.
It is not. You got to use your imagination.
We're
To be honest, though,
comics.
if you're at home and you don't know what a microwave on a chair looks like, you probably shouldn't be operating the vehicle you're listening to this
Absolutely.
podcast in.
I agree.
But you are listening, so why not give us a 5-star review?
Oh, yeah. we promised the fans who reviewed that we were going to
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
we're
that's
going to read off
perfect.
your names. We're getting a lot
Yeah.
of reviews.
I'm
That's
going to
great.
do the recent ones.
Cool. Not everybody reviewed. Some of them just rated, which we appreciate too. Ratings and reviews,
Yeah.
please. Both
And
help
hey,
us out
guys,
a lot.
if you just rated, you still don't get the free album. You have to leave a review.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the rules, and you have to live in the U.S. I've had
And
a
you have
lot
to
of-
own a CD player.
Yeah, that's fine. I was thinking of buying download cards for them, but I don't want to just keep
Oh.
giving out more free stuff.
That's true.
So I'll start back to, I think we have a few since March. This one, not that, it's a 5-star review,
Okay.
but real_life_dad. I guess he's a dad.
All right.
He said, if you like MMA and great jokes, then this isn't the podcast for you. But if you love MMA and pretty good jokes, then this is by far the best podcast for you.
Oh.
Thanks, Dad.
He's also a real _life _cunt.
I definitely believe he's a real. That's a very dad.
Look at
That's
the
a
next
very real.
The next one is Eli _
Please read this one. I want you to read this.
Eli _
It's about
F.
me.
This is a terrific podcast if you like MMA and lots of fun.
We just exude lots of fun, guys.
That's totally our
It's
brand.
good for when you are working out at a gym and want extra motivation. That's wrong.
Yeah.
Dan Lamort is hilarious and brilliant. Smiley face.
Yes. Hilarious and brilliant. And good motivation if you want to feel good about yourself in the gym.
I mean, yeah, that's a good point.
Yep.
Wait,
That was the right way of saying
where's
it.
I'll read one. Give me one.
Perfect.
My
Our
phone
next
isn't
one
there.
is Melissa Harper.
By the way, I just want to give a
Awesomeness.
shout out to Melissa. She's actually she's a real fan of the show and listens to the episodes. And she's
Melissa.
Shout out to
she's a
Melissa
comedian-
Harper.
She's a comedian in North Carolina, and she's a big
Really?
MMA fan. Yeah.
We're coming down. We're gonna do
She
a
was
show.
so nice. I
We
sent
are.
her a signed copy of the album, and she took a picture with it. She was so happy to get
Well,
it.
thank you,
She's a really nice
Melissa.
person. She comments on all the tweets.
That's
nice.
She retweets every episode.
Thanks
Well,
for listening,
someone's calling
Melissa.
you, so I can't read that anymore.
All right.
It was a fun background.
I was gonna
to
read.
it,
Yeah, I
man.
was interested. in that.
So her. Oh, yeah. Oh.
Go ahead.
Here.
Okay, I'll read. Okay, here we go. So Melissa Harper says comedy ? Fighting ? I got a win-win here. It's like listening to Friends. Dan, you rock. Luke and Diego, you're good too. I'm very handsome. Okay. Thank you so much, Melissa. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Let's do one more. Dan, read one more, and we'll get.
I'll pick one more. I'll pick this one from Warm Minneapolis.
Oh, it's a good name.
If you love comedy, or if you enjoy mixed martial arts, or you're like Dan and revel in both, you'll love the Fight Fist podcast! ! I didn't feel like doing it. Listen, or Dan's MMA guests will be visiting you.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we got to give one more
Okay.
read
Okay.
because
Okay.
someone named Zodi Cat, our most recent review is Zodi Cat. The title of the review is Best Podcast Ever, and then the whole review is This is the best podcast I ever listened to.
Yeah,
period.
Zadi gets right to the point.
So thank you, Zodi Cat. We
Wait,
appreciate
can I
that.
read my favorite review of all
Jesus
time,
Christ.
though?
Yeah, of course. Why not?
So it's love these guys, great insight into MMA and comedy. And that review is from Luke Tuma.
Oh man, you know you could make a fake name,
Listen,
right?
There's no proof that was.
The proof is that the name is Luke Tuma.
That's such a
Listen.
funny bit to do because you can make up whatever name you want. We go to other podcasts and review it as them and go.
That's hilarious.
I'm going to start reviewing Legion of Skanks as
Yeah.
Louis J. Gomez.
And just give it 1 star, and it just says, I don't like myself.
I've never hated Big J. Okerson more as Louis.
Stop bullying Lewis. He's a nice boy.
That's actually so funny.
That's very yeah.
We could ruin everyone's numbers.
Yeah, let's do it.
We got to get loose on the podcast.
Yeah.
No,
For sure.
I'm scared to ask him.
He definitely doesn't have enough podcasts.
He goes 0 to 1,000,000 so quickly.
What's he going to
It's either to be like, I love to do
He's
it,
going
bro.
to jeopardize us with Middle Easy? What do you
No, I
mean?
got to be honest. He hooked me up with hammer fisting, so I should ask him to do the podcast.
Yeah, it'll be fun, man.
It's just he's so hard to contact. He's off Facebook now. and-
Yeah. Well, we
that
can
was
talk to
fun.
him.
I did hammer fisting too.
It's a good
Yeah, you did it.
podcast,
We were
right?
supposed to do it together, and then
Right.
the snow canceled
Snow
it.
screwed you.
Then
Did
I
you
got
win?
luck-
I won.
Oh no, I was set up to lose. They so hammer. I can't even. Their episode hasn't come out yet.
Oh, okay.
But I was on there with Jimmy.
Right.
So
He knows
obviously the
what-
UFC fighter was going to win. They,
I'm 0-2 on Hammer.
yeah, they asked the
Fisting.
best fighter to come out of New Jersey, and he guessed himself,
Mm-hmm.
and of course he won.
Hmm.
I went the real route, which was
Roof.
a boxer,
Mm.
Arturo Gatti. Who is,
Oh, like ever? I mean.
yeah,
Oh,
of
man.
all time, and he's also. The reason I didn't get that because they said he wasn't born in New Jersey, which he wasn't, but he lived in
That's a good
Atlantic
point.
City. Which my point to that was Atlantic City is the worst place in New Jersey. So
Yes.
you have to really love New Jersey to live in Atlantic City.
It absolutely is.
Do you want to talk about Frankie and Cub?
I gotta be
yeah.
honest, I'm having a lot of fun talking about other podcasts on our podcast.
Yeah, the
Well,
greatest
let's talk
fighter of all
about
time.
the one before that. There's it's a great. It might be the best fight of the year in my opinion. Is Poirier versus Gaethje.
Oh yes.
I think
Yes.
Poirier knocks the shit out of him. I don't think Gaethje's at the level of Dustin. Dustin is just. I mean, Dustin's fought McGregor. You know, he's
Right.
he's
I
fought
would-
the best of them.
I would pick Dustin to win, but I think it's going to be a brawl. And I think it's going to be a 2-way fight. I don't think
Gaethje, I
Poirier's
think,
going to
can't
get through him
afford
easy.
Many more brawls in his life.
Right. Here's
His
where I
brain's
think.
He's a great he's great though.
Here's-
I don't think it's going to be an easy fight for Dustin.
No. Here's what I think is going to happen. I think from looking back to the Eddie and Gaethje fight, Eddie was technical enough to both bang and also kind of beat
Eddie fucked him up.
lines. So like I think Dustin's a little bit less technical than Eddie, and I think
Yeah.
that's his emotion is gonna I think pull him to be a little bit wilder than he wants to be.
Gaethje.
No, I think Justin's going to lower his skill because he's
Dustin.
going to end up being a little more brawlery than
Yeah.
clean jabs
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But who knows? It's going to be a great fight.
What's Gaethje's first
So
name?
you think Gaethje's
Justin.
gonna win?
I think
Oh,
Justin. I
that's why
think
I'm getting
Justin's
so
going to win.
confused.
Wow.
Justin versus Dustin.
Yeah,
Oof.
That's interesting. You think
Gaethje's
Gaethje's
gonna win?
I think Gaethje's going to win that one.
I don't know. I don't think his experience in the World Series of Fighting revels Dustin's in the UFC.
Sure, but I mean,
And also, Dustin was one of the first guys who really got me big in MMA through that documentary he did.
Fightful was
Fightful
phenomenal.
was one
It's
of the,
so
I think
good.
it might have been the best done MMA documentary.
Yeah, it's up there. I can't think really off the top of my head.
The other one
Other
was
than
good
choke.
about the guy from Pride.
Oh, the smashing machines.
Smashing
Yeah,
Machine.
that's like the most depressing thing I've ever seen
Yeah,
in my life.
I mean,
though.
that was just like him losing his.
I used to watch Legacy before the night before all of my fights.
Oh.
Tenzo's documentary, and I told him that, and he was like, "That's great." I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah, I'm trying to. This is how weird. When I played a sport in college, I would listen to Bill Hicks.
Really?
Yeah, a lot of my friends had like their own playlist that they would listen to,
Sure.
and I would just run while listening to Hicks because he was. I'm gonna go down a whole rabbit hole if you want me to. You know what happened? I got high and I watched Waco,
And
I'm just as anti-government as could be.
Wait, when did you watch Waco when you were playing baseball or today?
Yesterday,
Oh man,
I bought a David Koresh shirt. Like I actually bought a David Koresh
Who
shirt.
sells that?
Redbubble.
I don't know what that is, but
It's like
I'm guessing from the color and
it's like
the
a
word
less
bubble.
hipster Etsy.
Oh, okay, all right.
Yeah.
So instead of Che Guevara, you
And
get
I bought
David
a second.
Koresh.
I bought a second Unabomber shirt because I really wanted to double down on it.
Of course.
At this point, I've dug myself into such a hole.
Have you
with-
written him a letter?
No.
All right.
It's mostly because I don't know how to handwrite. If I could text
Can I
him.
tweet him?
Yeah. Can you guys give Ted Kaczynski some phone time?
A
so-
burner? That's so funny.
Yeah, no, because you know what happened? I dug a real hole. I was in Woodstock, and the cabin we were in looked like the Unabomber's cabin. So I brought that up, and like I guess they were at the right age to remember being scared of the Unabomber.
Yeah, that actually
Yeah.
makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, it was.
You scared a bunch of old people about the Unabomber in
Yeah.
their
You know,
hometown.
so now the whole crowd was scared of me. I mean, I got them back at one point. So then I go into a joke that I do that I always know works.
Mm-hmm.
And usually the crowds are not so smart, so they don't know the punchline, but it's a joke that if you pay attention, you can know the punch. So maybe 30 seconds into the joke, the bartender goes, "It's going to be his mom at the end."
Ah, God damn it.
I was like, "Really, dude?" He's like, "What?" I was like, "You just yelled my punchline."
Yeah, let me have it.
I was like, "That's not cool." He goes, "It's not cool because I'm black?" I was like, "No, it's
Whoa,
not."
what?
Yeah, I was like,
I like this guy.
I was like, "Dude, no, it's not cool because
He
you
raises the
ruined my
stakes early.
Yeah. Yeah, he pulled the card out right away.
Smacked it on the table. He's like, "That's right.
Yeah.
It's drink special for the day."
Yeah, it was one of those shows where it was just no winning.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you know that going in, it's just like there's less stakes on you. It's like, what am I gonna do? I can just do it.
And they thought the bucket next to me was a tip jar.
Okay.
So in the middle of my set, they were just walking in the middle of jokes and just putting tips in the jar.
Sounds like they didn't hate you that
in
much.
front of my face. No, it got so bad that I told one guy, I was like, "Come back up here and take your tip out.
Oh,
You don't
man.
fucking mean it."
That's funny. What
Yeah,
what was in the bucket?
Not enough.
No, but what was it for? Yeah, what was its purpose?
Oh, it was just a bucket. That's Woodstock. They
Were
don't
you
need
gonna spit
reason.
in it like during your jokes?
Yeah. You know, also, I realized the festival wasn't in Woodstock, the music festival.
No, it wasn't. It was in
It was
Bethel.
60 miles away in Bethel.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, so they're most known for a concert that wasn't even there.
Dude, I did the Colony in Woodstock with
That's the
Sean
nudist
Donnelly.
colony.
Yeah, Sean Donnelly and Tim
Were you
Dillon.
nude?
No, it's a venue called the Colony.
Oh.
It's not a nudist
I
colony.
went right to nudist colony.
Yeah.
Are there colonies that aren't nude?
I don't know.
I think so.
They're not doing it right.
Yeah,
then.
this venue was none of these things. It was a fucking bar.
Klan rally.
Yeah. But I did it with Sean and Tim.
Love Sean.
And Tim, midway through his set, was like talking about Woodstock and that the concert was there and that like there's a bunch of people still fucked up on acid in the town. And some girl goes, "The concert wasn't here, it was in Bethel." And he goes, "Really? Then how come earlier at your diner I ate a Janis Joplin omelet?" He's just like shitting on him for milking it. He's like, "Oh, really? It didn't happen here?"
That's so funny.
It is pretty wild, though. I mean, to be known as a place that just lent their name to another concert.
Yeah, it's so strange. I mean, it's a cooler word than Bethel. I get it,
Yeah.
but
Let's go to the Bethel Fest.
it's like, no,
Oh,
what?
that sounds disgusting.
Am I gonna get
Bethel Fest.
crabs? I mean, they got crabs. Whatever, you know what I mean.
Yeah, this podcast just really lost its steam.
I'm having a great time.
Yeah,
and the
me too.
listeners are having a great time, and they
listeners are
definitely
loving it
follow
right
us all
now.
on
If
Twitter.
you guys are this far into the podcast, tweet at FightFistPod hashtag
5-star
Waco.
review.
Waco.
Waco.
Yeah, what's your favorite cult documentary?
yeah. Hit me with a hashtag Waco or a hashtag Timothy McVeigh. No, I'm kidding. I also wouldn't know how to spell McVeigh.
In my head, Timothy McVeigh was spelled like Timothy Chalamet with a 2 E's. Timothy.
McVeigh the God.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. That's a fucked up documentary.
Yeah.
The McVeigh one.
Well,
Oklahoma
he
City
was.
Bowl.
I mean,
Like-
this is an easy route for me to go down to because I am an anarchist.
Mhm.
But he was not a good man.
No.
He was one of the guys who even my dumbass can't buy into.
My cousin went
'Cause
to.
he was a real Nazi. You know?
yeah. My cousin went to grade school with him.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Really.
She said he was always very quiet.
I'm surprised.
They always are.
Mm-hmm. He's a bad man.
All
Not in a good way
Moment of
either.
silence for
Not in the
Timothy
Stephen A.
McVeigh.
Smith bad man way.
No, I'm actually. This is how crazy I am. In September, I booked a show not too far from Waco because I'm going to go to the actual Davidian compound.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's still there. I mean, it burnt to the ground, obviously. As
But
we
the
all
lot
saw.
is there?
Well, there's actually still people who are branch Davidians who live on the compound and practice. Still.
No shit.
They still live there, but it's open to the public. There's a little memorial for the people who died. 80 people died.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm gonna wear my little shirt of David
Mm-hmm.
and
And
just
I'm
take a nice
sure
Insta
you're
picture.
not going to get a lot of weird looks there.
Dude, I did the Underground Comedy Festival in Washington D.C. at the Big Hunt, which was a lot of fun.
Oh, this
You ever
weekend?
been- Yeah, this past weekend.
Cool.
It was a sit. Have you ever been there, Luke?
I haven't. I heard it's good
It's a hell
room.
of a room, man.
Yeah, everybody says that.
Yeah, it's to the point where you walk down there, and as comics, we do shitty shows in New York. You're like, this room's too good for comedy.
Oh.
It's like a national treasure of a room.
Wow.
But yeah, I was walking around D.C. with my Unabomber shirt on, and boy, were people not happy.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I had a few people being like, "Really?" I was like, "Come on." That's what I'm. That's when like if people make that comment towards you, that's when I go on a rant. I'm like, "He killed 3 people over 20 years. You want to get into this talk right now?"
Sure.
They're like, "I didn't have the time, man. I'm just wanting to get super."
No, I have a
Panera."
job. I got to go.
Yeah, here I am yelling at the woman at Panera.
Yeah.
Give me a chocolate chip cookie and let me tell you about my manifesto.
Have you seen the Unabomber Harvard sweater?
Yeah, and I went to buy it, and they don't make big man sizes.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a beautiful sweater.
Yeah, my roommate has it.
Oh wow, I feel like me and your roommate would get along.
Oh, yeah. He's like me, but different somehow. No, we're the same person.
Is he a comic?
Yeah. Micah Brucey.
Oh,
We have a
yeah.
podcast together.
Oh, you guys also have a podcast. You're
We do.
cheating on us.
Well, I mean, you know, people ask you to do things. You don't say no in comedy.
He'll
That
say
was
no to
so
anything.
sick. You say yes to everything in comedy.
Yeah, you try.
Austin, how was Italy?
It was pretty cool.
Wait. You went to Italy?
Good. He went to Italy to visit his girlfriend, who's a famous poet.
What?
Yeah.
not on mic. Who the fuck are you guys?
Whoa,
mean-
why you get so mad? We're talking you up, man.
Yeah.
We could just say whatever we want about Austin, and he
Yeah.
can't defend himself.
I
'cause he's
mean,
not
they're
on
definitely
mic.
going to be able to hear him. It's just not
Yeah.
clearly.
They could hear him. We're in a
Um,
room that's a little room.
That's very cool. I've never been to Italy. It seems sick.
I recommend it. It's a cool place.
Did it feel different having sex in Italy?
Yeah, entirely different. It was like a different country almost.
So many cars.
It's not almost a
you know?
different country. It is a different country.
That's what I felt like.
I thought you were going to make a joke about how the outlets are different and her pussy. You got to go in
Yeah.
sideways over there or something.
He has to rotate to the left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, one of those.
Do they have bidets there?
Yeah, they do. Those are amazing.
I have a bidet down
How
my
did it feel in
apartment.
your butthole?
I can't. It was hard for me to readjust back to normal. Honestly, like those
I've
are
never
amazing.
used a
Like the
bidet.
Europeans
Come over.
are a genius.
You got a
people.
bidet?
Do you have one?
My
Dude.
other roommate has got one, and it's like one of the easy ones, like ones you just install, and it's like it's been very interesting. It's on the toilet, but it's very easy to install. It's a very like a low priced one.
It's like one of those toilet seat ones.
Kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Does it never
little
go
nozzle
straight into your butthole?
right into it.
I feel like
Do you
when
bidet and wipe, or is it either or?
I do bidet wipe.
Wow.
Because you can't have like a wet ass.
Because you feel like a water balloon for a second. You're like, hold on a second, let me get this all out of
it's
here.
like the real life version
Why
of
is
the
it
carnival
better?
game, squirting the water into the clown's mouth.
Think about it like this: if you got
Wow, you guys
shit
just
on
gonna
your
let that
elbow,
bomb? That
would
was a
you
good
just?
alliteration.
Sorry, Dan. What are you talking about?
Nope. The joke's over. I was comparing a clown's mouth to a butthole. Not that important.
If you got shit on your elbow, would you just wipe it dry?
No, I put it in the bidet.
Oh, so I get what you're saying.
Yeah, a little water helps. That's all it is.
Wow.
I wish I had those blowers that dry your hands. I wish I had that as well. That'd be so sick.
Wow.
I think there's like really expensive ones that have that too.
Like a
Asshole
Dyson.
blowers?
Yeah, that makes sense. You're wetting it right up.
Wow. That's such a
An
good
asshole
point.
blower.
Wow.
Your asshole though, actually, it's like getting too close to it.
Sure.
Imagine
gotta be a
burning your
hard-
asshole on purpose.
Well,
It's gonna
guys,
be a
now
hard
we're horny.
location to get a Band-Aid on.
There you go.
This
Well,
is
this
But
has
age
been
of grade,
quite the
bring it home with
podcast.
asshole talk.
Yeah, I mean, look, that's what the fans want.
The
Do they
fans
want
know-
this? I don't know. Email us for God's sake. Send us a
Yeah.
text, a tweet, anything.
The
Yeah.
people
We're
in
so
Kenya are
curious.
just like, "What's a bidet?
Yeah, great point.
What's water?"
I really need you to get more cultured so you figure out what the rest of the world is like.
I don't know what Kenya's like.
Yeah, I've noticed.
Do you know what Kenya's like?
No, but
And the Usain Bolt, I know that.
there you go. That's
Did
one
you
thing.
see the guy who knocked the guy out? This is back to MMA. But did you
Oh
see
my
the-
God, he knocked himself out.
No.
The Access TV
Just
Pride
let
fight.
him finish.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. I'm
And then the
talking,
backflip.
I'm
front
talking
flip.
about the guy. He,
Just let him finish. Just, like you have to do it. You have to be the one.
It's at the point now where I'm seeing if we're thinking of the same thing.
anyways, Diego. this guy knocked another guy out and then did like a WWE style like flip and
yeah.
landed on the guy's like basically stood on the guy's spine and then like somersault in the air, flipped on top of him.
So
I'm
fucking
happy
rude.
I interrupted him because you told it the wrong way.
No, did he?
No.
That-
No, what happened was the guy knocked. It was the white dude versus the black dude, right?
Yeah.
And then he kicked him in the head. The guy went down. He went down to hammer fist him, and when he went down to hammer fist, he hit his own head off the other guy's knee and knocked himself out.
Oh, I didn't see that part.
And then the guy got up to celebrate and stepped on his spine and then front flipped off of it.
Jesus Christ, that's such
I
a
saw the
shitty
spine
thing to
step
do.
in the front flip.
Yeah, they're saying he might get banned from MMA.
He flipped and then landed on the guy's back,
Jesus
like WWE
Christ.
style.
Yeah,
You already won the cage fight.
and
man.
it was
Yeah.
like he didn't even do anything to win. The other guy kind of put himself in the knockout.
That's nuts. That's nuts. That's so fucking disrespectful. But
Yeah.
also, shout out to Gary Tonin winning
Yeah.
his MMA debut by TKO. Do you guys see it? I watched
I
it.
did not
It was
see
great. It was such an
No.
impressive fight. He didn't do any. He did very little jiu-jitsu. Just used it to ride him out for mount.
Yeah,
And got a fucking nice little TKO. He looked so comfortable in there, and then threw a people's elbow to celebrate.
I heard about the people's. I did see that little clip.
Who,
so
uh,
proud.
Who does CM Punk train with?
He trains in Milwaukee with Duke Rufus.
Dude, they were saying
love
that he's
that
like
name.
really going hard at it and getting better
Good.
progressively, and that he's like taking it seriously. I can't remember who else is in Rufus's camp. I mean,
Pettis brothers.
Anthony Pettis.
Tyrone
was talking
Woodley.
about it. It was Pettis. Anthony Pettis was saying like, dude, he's actually getting good. Like he's just a
Askren.
part of the gym. It's
Yeah.
not like a novelty
They're
thing
saying
in the
Ashton
gym.
No.
might get the UFC shot.
I hope he does. He deserves it. He's
It's a little
phenomenal.
Past the year where he deserved it.
Yeah.
He and Dana are gonna put their beef aside. Like, do you really think that's gonna happen? Like, Askren's been trying to get in the UFC forever.
I think once Dana finds
It's
out
just
the
Dana.
analytics of how much money he'll make, I had to bring
Stop.
it back to analytics. Dana will put any beef aside as long as there's money in it.
Askren also just shit on Dana on Rogan's MMA show like 2 weeks ago.
If only they had a bidet.
There you go.
It was. I would like to see. He's 170, right? So
Yeah.
He said he wouldn't want. He said he would like to fight. I think he said Wonder Boy. He doesn't want to fight Woodley because they're like best friends.
friends.
Weren't
Yeah,
they talking about
they're
the GSP fight?
Yeah, GSP.
But
He
I
wants
don't
to
think-
fight as well.
I don't think GSP's going to come back.
What is
No.
he,
From what I've heard.
colitis?
Yeah.
Is that a butthole disease?
I think diverticulitis is the one that's
No.
intestine. Colitis, I don't remember what that is.
Who posted? Oh, I think that was JP McDade who did the bursitis thing from Jackass.
Yeah.
That's my favorite status.
It's very funny. He's the best. I love JP.
I've been watching a lot of Jackass again.
Dude,
Jackass
me
is
too.
great, dude. Jackass is so laugh
I
out
do
loud
really
funny.
think it's the funniest thing I've seen in my life.
As far as just like gutturally, like initial reaction funny.
Exactly.
Jackass and like the first time you watch Borat
yeah.
Dude,
are
every time you
I
watch
can
Borat.
rewatch
Yeah.
Jackass. I can watch the same Jackass movie back to back, and I'll still laugh.
it's hilarious. Johnny Knoxville was my favorite because he did the funniest stuff to me.
Mhm.
He didn't do the crazy. He did a lot of crazy shit. Like Steve-O was like the lunatic,
Mhm.
but I liked Knoxville did like the pranks, which I liked.
Yeah.
Where like he would. I love when someone acts weird in public. It makes the people in public feel really uncomfortable, and they don't know that he's being funny. Like they think he's just a weirdo.
Knoxville
I
was-
love
I
shit
really
like
think
that.
he's one of my favorite people.
Yeah, he's
And then he
great.
made The Ringer, which was a great movie.
The Ringer's so
One of my
fun.
favorite Jackass bits was on Jackass 2.5. They did the slow down camera,
Yeah.
and you just see Knoxville on the floor behind a butt naked wee man with his sack hanging, and Knoxville just takes a tennis ball in slow motion and throws it at wee man's ball sack,
Oh.
and you just see the slow motion rotation of the ball right into his nuts. It was just magical. I'm seeing a midget's hanging nuts.
Oh.
He's doing comedy now too, kind of.
Wee
Nah.
man?
Yeah.
He
Makes
also
sense.
uses the small water fountain as a bidet.
That's nice. All right, let me just squat up on this.
Preston does stand up too, the fat guy.
Jeez, really?
Yeah.
Steve Oda stand
Steve-O's, yeah, Steve-O's.
I think they all follow. They were like, whoa, Steve-O's making money and not a drug addict now?
Yeah. Very interesting turn for him.
Dude, Jeremy
He turned out the
Piven
most
does stand
normal.
up.
What?
Well, not anymore because he got accused of all that rape.
Yeah. He did get accused of all that rape.
I think that's what 2018 is just the. It's not even just going to be all that rape.
Yeah.
Sounds like the saddest 50s compilation song. All that jazz.
I think the amount of rape accusations have gone down, celebrity ones, because somebody got vetted in
Yeah.
that short period of time.
It definitely felt like a wave
It was
You
a
know?
huge wave,
I
yeah.
feel like
and
this
good,
is-
you know?
Yeah, for sure.
I feel like we talked about buttholes too seriously to go into rape talk right now.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But Jeremy Piven does stand up, which
So
I
UFC 223.
no way
huh?
he's funny.
dude,
That's
right.
the worst episode.
But I
Right.
mean, hey, take me on the road. I'll open for you. If you hear this, take me on the road, you bitch. You fucking the
All right,
goods,
well.
motherfucker.
You guys good? I
What a
have to head out.
podcast,
Yeah.
fellas. What a
Yeah.
great job. What a joyous occasion.
This-
Again,
This week's episode is called "We Didn't Have a Guest."
Yeah,
So-
this is
No, the past 3 have been guests. You just haven't edited them because you got fired.
you're the CEO of my heart, my friend. Hey, my man.
Me and him are co-producing a show together, and he doesn't even like me.
Ah, that's sick. Where's your show at?
The Heron.
Tell
Club.
the people where the show is.
Oh, should I promote it?
Promote the
Yeah.
show we're doing. Or your
What
show
is
you're
it?
doing.
April 6th. April 6th, the basement of the
Ooh.
Soho Playhouse.
What day is it?
Friday.
Oh, ooh, ooh. All right,
Yeah.
I'll come by.
Friday's tough.
Friday's tough for me.
I'm not even gonna go.
No.
I'm hosting it. I'm not gonna be there.
All right, I'll be there. I'll host. Same thing. I'm like, oh, I lost a bunch of weight. Isn't that great? All right.
You could.
I lost a bunch of weight and became personable.
We have. I wouldn't want to be personable. My whole goal in life is to live in a cabin in the woods alone.
You're getting there, man. We're gonna fucking lock you in it.
No, let me out. I need Twitter though. I can't go fully cabin.
Sure.
I need Twitter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For your late night. I just smoked too much weed again. Isn't this a spiral that won't end?
Well, you know what happened with that is that I stopped doing those tweets for 2 months because I stopped smoking weed. So I was like, I got to give the people. You know, fun fact, inside Twitter knowledge, not even high most of the time. My tweet
Motherfucker.
does. When I'm that high, I can't operate a phone.
Right, exactly.
No, I do like a pre-high tweet where I'm like, this is probably what I'll say when I'm high.
You just look at your phone. You're
Yeah.
like,
I'm
type
breaking
it.
the fourth wall of Twitter. Most of the things I say I do, I'm not doing.
That's fair. Hey,
Dan
if
is
it's
the
funny, it's funny.
WWE of Twitter accounts.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. People,
Thank you so much for listening to the show.
Yeah,
I think it's
guys.
a great time.
Thank you.
don't forget, if you listen this far, hashtag Waco.
Hashtag Waco. Please leave us some 5-star ratings and
Is that
reviews.
We
just
gotta check the hashtag later.
You know-
That's too bad. It has to be hashtag
Hey.
David Koresh.
We will name the. No, we don't. We'll give you an extra special shout out if you give us a 5-star review and the subject or your name of the review is Waco.
There you
If
go.
So,
one
do it
person
like
reviews
that.
this podcast with just not the whole comment is just Waco.
The word Waco
Just
needs to be in your review.
The title
Waco.
is Waco, and then the comment is Koresh.
Yeah,
If
wait.
you do that, I will send you $10.
I, Diego Lopez, do not support these allegations and names. Just so that out
Also, you'll get an extra shout out if you put Diego Lopez told me to say this in the review.
there. Follow Dan Lamort at
Follow me at Branch Davidian. And if the leader of the Branch Davidians listen to this, if you guys want to start a podcast,
Follow
I
him
think
at
we're the
Branch
right
Davidian.
hosts.
You can find me on Twitter at @bidetsareus.
follow at Austin Locked Up.
Yeah.
Austin Locked Up.
No, I'm
This I'll follow this Diego Lopez.
yeah, I'm
You have a Twitter?
no. I'm
Sick.
at Luke Tuma on Twitter, at Luke.Tuma on Instagram.
Oh, we're actually giving out the real
Yes, we
stuff
gotta
now.
end this.
Yeah.
We can't just keep riffing.
At Theodore Kaczynski.
God damn it!
At
Bye. I
Dan
love you all.
Lamort.
Bye.
God
Go
love
train.